the Magnolia course. In the very spirit of Walt Disney is a course of grand design. Long, generous fairways stretch beside winding lagoons. Large, ample greens are neatly placed amidst a labyrinth of bunkers. It is a course which reflects the same imagination and flair that makes the Disney experience such a memorable one. Each year, the PGA Tour players come to challenge the Walt Disney World courses, bent on capturing a different sort of Disney magic. But of course, at Walt Disney World, magic can be found everywhere. Since its opening in 1971, Walt Disney World has enchanted the hearts of young and old alike. The dominant theme, which draws visitors from around the world, is a playful mix of reality and fantasy, where what at first appears to be real, at second glance often proves to be a cleverly crafted Disney illusion. Just a monorail ride away is the Magnolia course. It is the site of the final round of the Walt Disney World Oldsmobile Golf Classic. And there, on the 18th green, champions are made with storybook finishes of their own. The Magnolia course, a creation of enduring esteem. A classic golf experience.
Whoa! I'm Gary McCord. I'm here at Walt Disney World, the Magnolia Golf Course. Actually, this whole place was called Bear Island, but Joe Lee came in, the architect, planted 1,100 magnolia trees, and hence the name change. Now, this golf course is well designed. It's fun to play. It's manicured beyond belief. And if you really get playing good, you can really shoot some low numbers. Now, this is truly a classic golf experience. As in all of our tapes in our Classic Golf Experience series, I'm going to show you how to play the golf course, hole by hole. Now, this is a magical place, so to bring you some of that magic, I'm going to give you some tips on how to play out that white silica sand they have in these bunkers. I'm also going to give you a tip on lag putting on these very large, beautifully well-manicured greens. Now, there's one tip out here that you don't need, and that's about the spirit about this place. It's magical. It's fantasy land. It's the Magic Kingdom. It's everywhere. It's the characters out here. But there's a feeling, there's an ambiance about this whole place that makes it so much fun. It's magic, and it's out there. You know, this is a perfect design for a resort golf course. What Joe Lee, the architect, did, he gave you ample room to drive out there in the fairways. But if you strayed, you've got water, trees, bunkers. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit one here on the first hole, see what we can do. that's about perfect. I've hit it down the right-hand side of this fairway, which allows easy access into this green. Now, let's go have a fun day. Now, from our drive position there, we can get a good look at what the Magnolia course is all about. Large, expansive greens, but well protected by bunkers. The greens here don't have much undulation. They're fairly flat, so if you really get the putter going, you can have a real good day. Now, the second hole is indicative of most of the holes on the golf course. That is, they curve one way or another. There's very few straight holes. Now get behind the tee, look at how the hole flows. Visualize the shot, get up, and hit the ball accordingly. We're going to hit a little fade out here about 220 yards. From there, we're going to have a second shot to an uphill green, well bunkered, very shallow. Club selection here is very important. Jack Nicklaus had a monopoly early as he won the first 3 golf tournaments. I guess that's why they affectionately called it Jack Nicklaus and the 155 Dwarfs. On the third hole, I learned a lesson early on how to play Florida winds. I was looking up at the trees. I couldn't figure out which way the wind was blowing from. My playing partner looked straight up in the sky. Took out a 6-iron, hit it about 3 feet. I said, "What were you doing? How'd you get it so close?" He said, "In Florida, Gary, always look at the clouds. They'll tell you the true way the wind is blowing." And I guess Johnny Miller knows what he's talking about. Now, if you get a chance on the fourth hole, go back to the pro tee. Look at the beautiful view from there. Boy, this is wonderfully maintained, too. Not a bad view from this tee either. This hole kind of wanders to the right and then up to the left as we get to the green. Now look at here, we've got 14 bunkers on this hole alone. That tells me it's a position hole. The architect wants you to follow a certain route. Try to drive the ball in between those 4 bunkers. Once we get to this position, now we have a couple of options. Do we hit it towards the green over that huge fairway bunker to the left, or go to the fairway on the right-hand side? I'd suggest go to the fairway on the right-hand side. From there, it's just a short iron to a very narrow green surrounded by 7 bunkers. I like to play this hole from the fairway, always keeping grass underneath my golf ball. You can go for the green in 2, but boy, you'd sure pay the price if you mishit it. Boy, from this point, that is really intimidating. Look at all those bunkers out there. You know, we've got about 270 yards from here, a little wind against us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it over there where the fairway is on the right-hand side. From that point, it's an easy access into this green. Now, wait a minute. Look at that. I knew they paid particular attention to the maintenance of this golf course, but how about that for a grounds crew? Okay, we're going to go over here on the right-hand side of the fairway. Then we're going to go from the green from there. Now, let's see if we can get it over there. Oh, no. Oh. I pulled it right in that fairway bunker over there on the left. Now that's going to be a difficult shot. Let's go see what we can do out of there. Well, I've got what I call right here a compound fracture. I'm in a fairway bunker. I've got about 90 to 100 yards to the flag stick. Bunkers in front, bunkers in the back. I've got a fracture because I should be over there in the fairway. I don't want to compound it by trying to go over those bunkers with bunkers stacked in behind the green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to play the ball out to the right where there's no bunkers. Get the ball in the green in 3, 2-putt, get my 5, and get out of here. Difficult situation. Let's not make it any worse. Now the tip I'm going to use today is, let's dig in the feet really good. Flex the knees. From that point, the legs don't move. They're stagnant. They will not move during the shot. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to play the ball way off our back foot, because I'm just going to hit the ball low, run it up on the green, right up there. I'm going to turn my hand from this position, because I'm playing the ball back, In order for the club to get up, let's turn our hand way to the right or clockwise. That way we can pick the club up abruptly, hit down through it. Knees are not going to bend, and here's the key. You see this angle I've got right now, the relationship between my shaft and my left arm. That will maintain itself throughout the shot, therefore getting the club head down first with the hands ahead, pinching the ball out on the green. Let's see if we can handle it. Yeah, pretty good shot. Remember, silica sand is very soft, so dig in, keep the lower part of your body very quiet, and hands ahead as you hit it. Well, the name of this place used to be called Bear Island, and I think they got that name from this hole. It's quite a bear. Well over 400 yards, dog leg to the right. I think the toughest hole on the golf course by far. Sherwood Forest on the right. If you hit your golf ball in there, you can't find it. Heck, if you hit a basketball in there, you couldn't find it. So let's keep over to the left by those two bunkers, not cutting off the forest at all. From there, we're going to have a long shot right against the wind to a small, narrow green that's protected on the right by two bunkers and on the left by a bunker. What I usually do here is just play it up short of all those bunkers. Try a long putt to the back of the green, or if I have to chip it, fine. Now look at this green. It's only 6 steps across from those bunkers right there. You think I'm going to try to hit a long shot back there? Not a chance. Now we're on the 6th hole here at the Magnolia Golf Course. This is the signature hole out here, and you can tell why. Now in this par 3, let's not be concerned with that alligator that's always hanging around that lagoon. That's not a Disney character, that's the real thing. Let's see if we can get it over it. Ooh! 7th hole, slight dog leg to the left. Now I'm going to give you an idea here what the architect is trying to do to us. This is the only hole on the front side that doesn't have any fairway bunkers. What he's trying to do is lull you into a sleep where you don't concentrate and bloop into the water. Let's not do that. Off the tee, let's concentrate on a position on the right-hand side of this fairway. From there, we can hit a short iron to a green that's very long and well bunkered. Now this green is plateaued, so if the pin's on the back, let's make sure we get the ball back there, because a putt from the front is very difficult. Now Walt Disney always did things on a grand, larger-than-life scale, and the 8th hole at the Magnolia is no exception. It is well over 600 yards in length. Now what we want to do is position our ball somewhere on the right-hand side, avoiding that village of bunkers over there on the left. In that position, the hole will gently swing back now to a straightaway second shot that should be placed on the right-hand side. I try to lay it up short of those bunkers on the left. No way to get to this hole, and too impossible. So just lay it up a couple of times. From that position, we're going to have a short iron into an elevated green, protected on all sides by bunkers. This green's probably got more undulation than any green on the golf course. Now the 9th hole is a straightaway par 4. Again, there's a quarter of trees we've got to go through. There's a couple of bunkers on the right and lake way up on the left. Our ideal position here is right center. Now really concentrate here. because this is a straight hole, very tough to line up on. We've been playing a lot of dog legs. The second shot now goes to a green that's guarded all around by bunkers and a lake on the left. The wind here is usually blowing against you, but it's a huge green. Ample room to hit the ball on. Well, I've driven it absolutely perfect, right where I said you should. Avoiding that bunker on the right-hand side of the fairway. Very close to it, so I got a straight angle at this green. Remember, we got water on the left-hand side over there. But going to the turn, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to go right at it. Birdie time. Boy, what a great 9 holes of golf. Whoa, boy, does it feel good to play like that. Man, that was special. I'll tell you what, that birdie putt on that last hole. Pinocchio, did you see that birdie right there? Listen, you're not going to tell anybody, are you? Please don't tell anybody. You sure you're not going to tell anybody? I don't see your nose growing. Huh? Okay, good. We can go back in. Listen, I'll give you a lesson how to make those birdie putts like I did right there. It's real easy. You just got to look where the green is. Just hit it right up against there and it'll be no problem.
When I was a kid, there was no real connection between golf and Walt Disney characters. About the closest we ever came was when we were fighting real hard for a 50-cent Nassau and sometimes got a little bit competitive and rambunctious. Like the opponent was on the top of a backswing and we'd give him a Donald Duck. We only did that once. But in 1971, Walt Disney's dream changed all that with the opening here of the Magnolia and Palm courses, followed a few years later by the Lake Buena Vista. All three are fun and challenging layouts. At Walt Disney World, there's not only a lot of different holes, but entire courses with different character. Depending on how you feel on a particular day, you can play a fairly short course that's very tight, has extra fast greens, Buena Vista. A little longer course that's not quite as narrow, but has water on 10 holes, Palm. Or the Magnolia, which is the longest and has over 100 bunkers. Magnolia is always used for the final round of the Walt Disney Golf Classic, the PGA Tour event played here every year. So the three courses at Disney World bring you a wonderful variety of golf architecture and playing characteristics, all of it first rate. Good turf, greens with pace, a call for every shot in the bag. And of course there's wind. There's always wind to contend with in Florida. However, the Walt Disney World courses are in central Florida, inland, and the wind is not as consistent as it is along the coasts. There you can pretty much count on the breeze coming from one direction, off the sea, and get used to playing it. At Disney World, it swirls, changes direction from day to day, even moment to moment, which makes you play a more calculating game. It also makes the numerous dogleg holes here all the more interesting to play. For example, a hole turns to the right and you have the wind at your back off the tee, but when you get to your second shot, the wind has changed, and now you're playing into it. Very interesting. It's good golf, compelling golf. It takes a certain amount of concentration, which leads me to believe that there is, after all, a connection between the Disney characters and the game of golf. Let's say you're here with your kids. Now you have to keep them busy to keep your wits about you to play these fine golf courses. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Send the kids over to Disney World to spend some time with Donald, Mickey, Goofy, and all the others. They'll never miss you, as you stay back and play 18, maybe even 54 holes of guiltless golf. You hear? Guiltless golf. Thank you, Walt. I'm Al Barco.
Now the Magnolia course, and especially the 10th hole, have a special significance for me. This is where I started my pro golf career. I came down, qualified, got in the golf tournament. This was my first hole. I can remember today how nervous I was. Lagoon on the left, bunker on the left. I knew I was going to snap hook it in a lagoon. Somehow I got it down the right-hand side, hit a little weak hook out there in the fairway. Got over the second shot. I'm sitting there looking. I said, well, I'm going to take a 3-wood. I'm just going to try to roll the ball down towards the green. Somehow I got the club on it and I rolled it down there towards the green, and it got up against the two bunkers down there on the right-hand side. Remember when I walked up to the wedge shot, I couldn't believe how nervous I was. I took my sand wedge out, looked at the flag, closed my eyes and hit it. I looked up and it was about 4 feet from the hole. Somehow I knocked it in for a birdie. Unfortunately, my next birdie was 5 years later. The 11th hole, I think, is the most beautiful on the golf course. Take a look at the dense foliage over there on the left, the lurking lagoon on the right. Our tee shot here, we want to keep to the right of that bunker. Maybe we don't have to hit a driver. Let's just get it out there a couple hundred yards. From there, all we've got is a short iron to a huge green, well protected, bunkers all the way around it, lagoon on the left. The problem here is the wind. It comes off those trees on the left. Take a look at the clouds, see which way the wind's blowing, and then play your iron shot accordingly. Now this is a birdie hole, so give it your best shot. Now the 12th hole is a sleeper par 3. By that I mean if you don't pay attention here, it's going to jump up and bite you. It's a relatively short par 3, lagoon on the right, bunkers in the front of this green. The problem here, it's out in the open. The winds attack it from every which way. Now you notice the architect, Joe Lee, put all the bunkers towards the front. So take enough club to get to the back of the green. That way we can avoid all those bunkers. Here we have the 1986 Walt Disney World Oldsmobile Golf Classic champion Raymond Floyd trying to figure out these capricious winds, and no, he didn't quite do it, did he? Plunged it down there in that bunker. Now these bunkers are deep, and it's a very difficult shot to get the ball close. So pay attention on the tee, get enough club to get to the back, let's get our par and go to the next hole. Now the 13th hole is a short little meandering dogleg to the left. And on the left-hand side of this fairway is a collection of trees, bunkers, moguls, everything over there that's evil. Let's stay out of there. Let's get our ball down the right center of this fairway. There's a couple of bunkers out there. I'd lay it up short. The key to this hole is it's always downwind. This is one of the smallest greens on the golf course and one of the fastest. The architect put a bunker across the front of this green. So if you catch any kind of fly or lie from the rough, or if there's a lot of wind blowing, it's just about impossible to stop the ball close to a pin that's cut on the front part of the green. Now if you can drive the ball in the fairway, spin it off these beautiful Bermuda fairways, you can get the ball pretty close, and this is a birdie hole. Now the golf pros play from a tee that's way back there on the left and makes it a sharp dog leg to the left. Lon Hinkle didn't quite get to the fairway. Now watch what he does here. He's downwind out of the rough. He knows he can't get the ball close, so he's going to hit it to the back part of the green, taking that front bunker out of play. From there, chip it on, try to make his par. We all don't hit perfect shots on the tour, but you can sure think your way around if you get in some trouble, just as Lon did right there for a great 4. Now we're coming to the 14th hole, a double dogleg par 5. Now what I mean by double dogleg is that it's S-shaped. It goes out here, around, and then back. On the tee shot, you got to be concerned with the trees that are off the tee right here, and there's a lake over there on the right-hand side behind the trees. Once we get it out there in the right-hand center of the fairway, from there we'll lay it up short of a huge pond that goes all the way to the green. Now what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to try to curve my ball from left to right and get it in the right-hand center of that fairway. Let's see how I do. Oh, I've hit a double cross. I hooked it over there on the left-hand side. Let's go see if we can find it. Well, it's got to be around here somewhere. The ball can't disappear. It came right over here. Grass is not that long. It's got to be here somewhere. Got to be right out here in the open. Oh, what's that? Hey, is that my ball? Is that my ball? Which one of you guys is telling the truth? Well, it's not only my ball. You guys got about 3 winners worth of golf balls here. What have you guys been doing? Collecting these? Huh? Where was it? Over there in the fairway? All right, I'm going to go back out there and throw it where you guys picked it up from, huh? See you guys later. Boy, there's another reason to stay out of these woods. Now this hole is just about 600 yards long, so let's not try to be a hero and try to get the ball up there by the green. I usually play back short of all that water and that bunker on the left-hand side in the trees. From there, I've got an iron over this lagoon onto a big green surrounded by bunkers. Now, if you can position your ball on your second shot on the right side, short of that lake, you can have an easy access as Chip Beck shows right here. There, now that's the way to do it. And now the 15th hole, the longest par 3 on the golf course. This green sets out in the middle of nowhere, 2 bunkers in the front of it, so the wind comes whipping through here. It's a long iron, a lot of wind. Aim for the middle of this green. Don't shoot to the sides because the green rolls off on both the left and the right-hand side. Now here's a former champion, a guy well known for his knickers, Payne Stewart, who just rifles a 3-iron right at it. And gets a rare opportunity to make a birdie 2 here on the 15th. The 16th is a straightaway driving hole through that chute of trees. Now this landing area is a lot larger than it looks from the tee. So try to pick out a position in the right center of this fairway and then let it go. Now pay particular attention to the wind here. Trees on the left and the right, so let's look up in the sky, find some clouds, find the direction it's blowing from, and then play accordingly. Don't allow the trees to tell you which way the wind's blowing. They'll always lie to you. Now your second shot is to a large green. In fact, it's typical of most of the greens on this golf course. Large, flat, and you're going to have a lot of long putts out here. My advice would be to go to the practice putting green. Practice your 50, 60 footers. Learn how to get the ball close. Well, I've driven the ball perfect. Right center of the fairway. Oh no, somebody dial 1-800 putting instructor now!
The putt is the simplest of all strokes. The ball is simply hit from here to here. However, better golfers leave nothing to chance. They consider all the elements: wind velocity, humidity, rotation of the earth, time of day, temperature, drift indication, lay of the land, trajectory angle, longitude, latitude, and a bit of mental calculation. This routine completed, the putt can now be made with confidence. Missing a putt is very aggravating.
Now that's not the only tip we're going to work with. I'm going to give you 3 other tips here today. And it concerns itself with long distance putting. I've got about a 60-footer here. That's a very long distance. Now, we've got a skinny little pin up there. Doesn't give us much of a reference point. So I haven't got a caddy. I'm going to use my imagination. I'm going to imagine a caddy standing there with the flagstick so I can get a better reference point of which to judge the distance. It's not hard to have an imagination here, is it? Now, the second tip we're going to give you has to do with the visual part of this. Let's not put our putter down and stare at the ball the whole time. Let's look at the hole. Look at the hole, look at the pin, look at your caddy. When you're ready to hit it, then go ahead and do it. Don't stare at the ball. Our third tip has to do with the stroke. To hit the ball this distance, we have to have a stroke that is very consistent, back and forth. The way you develop that is the distance between your arms. If I'm stroking this putt, like so, you'll see that the distance between my two forearms, the space there, is consistent. Now, if you go to the pro shop and buy some golf balls, don't discard that little sack, little package of 3 golf balls. You can use it as an aid to practice with. Let me show you. Take it, stick it between your arms, and just practice putting. That way it'll keep the same distance between your forearms. If it changes, you'll either compress the package or it'll fall out of your forearms. Now, let's see if it works. Whoa, whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. Whoa now, right there. That was a pretty good putt there, wasn't it? Now, did you get that? You sure you got that? All right, come on. Let's see it. Remember all the tips I gave you now? Okay, fire away. Maybe you got the wrong club. We'll try with a putter next time. Well, Goofy, between your calculations and my putting tips, I think we came up with a winner. The 17th is a great driving hole, and it's a particular favorite of the architect Joe Lee.
I'm especially partial to the 17th hole. It weaves around 2 lakes, and I think it gives a golfer the opportunity to challenge the hole from any distance he wants to. And it's really a placement hole, but also allows the higher handicapped golfer not to challenge the water so much. The higher handicapped golfer can go for it if he likes.
Now here's one of the options. Buddy Gardner drives it just over the right side of this lake. Just barely clears the water in perfect position. Or you have the option, as Gary Koch did here, of just hitting a little fade and hitting on the right side of this fairway, not involving the water at all. Or, if you're like the walrus, Craig Stadler, rear back and just hit it right over the middle of the water. Man, that is a monster drive right there. And now, let's see how I drive it here. Ooh, looks pretty good. Thank goodness for editing. That's right down the middle. Now from here, I've just got a short iron to a green that's protected again by a lagoon on the right, bunkers in the front right, 2 bunkers on the left-hand side. The difficulty here is trying to figure out the wind. It comes off that lagoon from right to left. So if the pin is on the right-hand side, a miscalculation can put you in the bunker or even worse, in the lake. Now this hole is well over 400 yards. Take a look how narrow this green is. The pin's in the back center today. Let's see if we can get this back there. Oh, look at this shot. How is that close? Just about impossible to get a ball closer than that. Unless you're Fuzzy Zeller. Nice too, Fuzz. The 18th hole. This is a tough driving hole, and this is the best place to see why. Look back there. Look how narrow that chute is. This is what the tee looks like on Championship Sunday. Look at all those people. Well, that's a narrow opening down there, but it did not phase Payne at all. He just center cut it about 270. Well, I'd like to hit it there every time. Now the second shot is a medium to long iron to a narrow green that sits diagonal. Now there's bunkers on the left and a lagoon and a cart path on the right. The idea here is to pick the right club, figure out which way the wind is blowing, and try to get the ball somewhere on the green. Boy, now that is some kind of strong finishing hole. And how about these strong finishes by some Walt Disney World Oldsmobile champions? Payne Stewart. And Raymond Floyd nailing on his victory with this putt. And Larry Nelson. Well, we're about to end another great day of golf. You know, you never feel like you're alone here. Heck, the Magic Kingdom is just right over there, and the spirit of Disney is everywhere. I mean everywhere. Come on, everybody, let's go see if I can make this birdie putt. Now, Chip and Dale, just leave my ball alone, would you? Goofy, I want you to watch this stroke, okay? Here we go, Goofy. Looks like a good caddy. Stay right there. Okay, ready? Minnie and Mickey, ready to wish upon a star? Here we go. See if we can make it. Sleepy, you try to stay awake during this, would you? Hey, all right, how's that, everybody? Pretty good, huh? Okay, I'll tell you what, I gotta sign this scorecard. I tell you what, well, I got you all here. Do you mind if you just sign this for me, would you please? Okay, great, just write it down right there. Okay, Grumpy, I'll get to you in a second. Hold on there a second. Chip, how's everything going? Everything going good? Pluto, here we go. Give me a bow wow on that, would you? Okay, there we go. Doc, how about a signature there? Okay, perfect. Here we go, Goof, can you sign it?
One of the best things about playing at the Walt Disney World Resort is that you have 3 courses to play, each with distinct characteristics. The Palm course, the second of architect Joe Lee's designs, places a premium on accuracy and placement. Water comes into play on 9 holes, and on the other 9, tight fairways and guarded greens challenge golfers of all abilities. The par 5 14th epitomizes the characteristics of the Palm course. The drive is to a narrow ribbon of fairway. The green, equally elusive, is hostage to water and bunkers. The picturesque 16th is a medium-length par 3 carryover water. During the early rounds of the Walt Disney World Oldsmobile Golf Classic, the capricious winds certainly draw the attention of the pros. In 1986, the par 4 18th was ranked the 4th toughest hole on the PGA Tour. The narrow fairway is guarded by a strategically placed bunker on the left and woods on the right. It takes a long iron to a large flat green surrounded by bunkers and a canal which crosses in front. A good score on this hole will top off a great round of golf. Located just 2 miles from Epcot Center, the Lake Buena Vista course is considered to be the most fun to play. Its length is not intimidating, and the fairways, walled by Florida pines and cypress trees, allow room for error off the tee. Spaceship Earth is just a drive and a 5-iron away from Lake Buena Vista's par 3 16th. At the par 5 17th, a new concept in golf course villas line the sides of this tight fairway. If you happen to hit it right, don't be surprised if you play from under a treehouse. The par 4 dogleg right finishing hole demands placement off the tee to set up for the final approach to the elevated green. Joe Lee's Palm, Lake Buena Vista, and Magnolia are a perfect blend of golf that provides golfers of all levels a unique challenge.
Walt Disney World is the nation's #1 tourist destination. Located on 28,000 acres, the property contains 2 theme parks, the Magic Kingdom, now in its 16th year, and Epcot Center, which opened in 1982. A 3rd theme park, The Disney MGM Studio Tour will premiere in 1989. At least one soundstage will be available for TV and film production this summer. In addition to the theme parks, the resort area has expanded to include the Grand Floridian, a turn-of-the-century tropical-style luxury hotel, and the Dolphin and Swan, a giant 2,300-room convention hotel complex. For campers, Fort Wilderness Campground has almost 1,200 campsites and is home to the River Country Water Park. Typhoon Lagoon, a new water park to be located near Walt Disney World Village, will boast the world's largest wave pool and a snorkeling area complete with tropical fish. Also under construction is Pleasure Island, a nighttime entertainment complex. The 6-acre island will include a comedy club, a golden oldies club, even a teenage nightclub. Epcot Center's World Showcase continues to expand. In June, Norway, gateway to Scandinavia, became the 11th nation to display its national heritage in this unique environment. World Showcase After Dark now includes the exciting new light and laser show, Illuminations. Future World at Epcot Center is a place where entertainment and education go hand in hand. In 1989, the Wonders of Life Pavilion, featuring a thrill ride through the human body, will become Future World's 8th major pavilion.
Okay, you ready now, Pluto? Keep your paws on the ground, okay? Tail between your legs and knock it right in there. Hey, all right, excellent putt. Grab the pin there for a second. Now, how about that? 3 classic golf experiences all rolled into one, and they're all right here at Walt Disney World. Now, I suggest you use this tape as a practice round. Go over it and over it again. Or you can use the tape to rekindle some fond memories that you've had here. Now, remember, 3 things. I want you to come out here, play your own game. I want you to have some fun. And beyond anything else, make sure you bring your imagination. Hey, what was that? Where'd I go? Tinkerbell. Has anybody ever heard of me? None of you? Say, come on. None of you heard of me? Now, remember all those tips I gave you. Now, let me see it. Very good. Okay, that was your practice swing. Now remember, first thing was keep your eye on the ball. Which one is he? Happy? I don't know this.
Well, he's happy.
Is that the happy one? Oh, okay. Now look at the hole. Now, go. Strike 2. Okay, one more goof, and you're out of here back in the dugout. All right, because I don't.
Dopey's heard of you.
Which one's Dopey? Hold it, I can just. That's Dopey?
Yeah.
That's hard to hit. Oh, that's got to be Grumpy back there. Doc. All right. That wasn't bad right there, Goofy. We got to work on your distance, but you and I putt a lot alike. Let's go see if we can make the next one. Come on. Sleepy? Sneezy? No clue. Come on, everybody. Let's see if I can make this birdie putt. Now, listen, Chip and Dale, don't touch this ball, all right? Goofy, you want to caddy for me? Okay, great. Why don't you hold the flag stick? Okay, there we go. Ready? I'm going to line this one up now. Watch this. Watch this right in the back. Let's see if I can make it. I missed it.
Bashful.
Oh, bashful. Okay. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I guess too much pressure or something. You heard of me? He's heard of it. Hey, he's heard of it. Hey, all right. Here we go. Ready, Minnie? Left edge inside. See if we can make it. Oh, right in the middle. All right.